Hi friends, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I went to the Atlanta Pen Show and a lot of purchases were made. So I am going to try to move pretty quickly. I will have more in-depth videos on some of these items as the weeks move forward, but I just wanted to share kind of everything I got and drop some footage in for those that might be curious about how large it is, or things that go on. So I didn't film a whole lot because I didn't want to get up close to a lot of the tables, just because some makers don't mind, others do. And so I just kind of did scans of the room, and then some of the things that we did like after the show, like the giveaways and things like that they did. But I also didn't want to make a really huge long video of that, as well as all of my haul stuff. So I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. I did get some inks. I may swatch them later, depending on how long this video ends up being. So I'm going to move all of this stuff off to the side. I have a lot of stuff here, and there's a lot of stuff that I got that is not in this pile. So let me get all of this out of the way so you can see what we're focusing on as we go through each item. Okay, so we'll start with this stuff. There's a whole lot of business cards and stickers that I picked up. I don't know that I have them all out. Steven was picking up stuff, and so was I. So I tried to get everything back together, but we talked to a lot of people. So there's a whole lot of business cards here. I'm going to try to shout out the people that I talked to, and I will link their businesses down below, websites, Instagrams, whatever I have for them. And I didn't buy from all of them, but I do want to shout them out because I have really good conversations with a lot of people. So first off, we were at the Lighthouse Paper Company, and that's where I picked up these. They kind of carry a little bit of everything paper-wise, some stamps and Hobonichi stuff. They had Travelers Company stuff as well. So the Lighthouse Paper Company, I picked up this stamp set, and this is from the Well Appointed Desk, but they do carry this. I was so excited to find this there. I see a lot of people use this stamp set, and I have been wanting it. I just keep forgetting to buy it, so I was super excited to find that there. I also picked up a couple of the A6 Hobonichi page markers. I love this T one, and then the llamas, they're just so cute. I also got the A5 for my ink journal, and because I don't have one for it, so I picked all of this stuff up from the Lighthouse Paper Company. I spoke at great lengths with the Paladin Pen Company. He was working on the section for my platinum that I broke the feed off in a long time ago. He was trying to get it out. Didn't have much success, but he was so kind and told me that if I send it to him, he will continue to work on it and try to get it out for me. It's not that big of a deal. I just thought if he could, I, would be able to use that. I do have the nib in another pen, so it's not a big deal to me. But he does have a pen coming out that I wrote with, and it is fantastic. So I will link him down below just so you guys can take a look at that. It was beautiful, and it writes so good. It comes in 2 colors, and I think he said it was coming out in June, but you can pre-order it now from his site. So I will link that one down below as well. Let's see, Kiwi Inks. I did meet them. They hand make all of their inks in-house, so I picked up a bottle of Rainbow in a Bottle. It is beautiful, a beautiful blue. Like I said, we'll go through these as I have time and try to just swatch them all in like one video, but I just don't want this video to be like 2 hours long because there's a lot of stuff. So I did pick up this ink. I picked up quite a few bottles of ink, but some of them were before the pen show, and I'll go through them next. But I picked up this from Kiwi Inks, and it's a gorgeous ink, so I was super excited to pick that up. So I went to Mont Blanc before the show started. We went to the mall in Atlanta, and the lady in there was so nice and had a lot of recommendations from people in the community about these 2 inks. So I picked up the Toffee Brown and the Irish Green. They seem to be the most popular. They are both beautiful. But then I also picked up it's Around the World in 80 Days Coal Blue, and it is stunning. So this is a specialty ink that they carry, and they only had 1 bottle of this left, so I wanted to get it. Their bottles are so nice. So I picked up those 3 inks. Then at the Florida Fountain Pen Company table, they had a lot of Robert Oster inks, and I've been looking for the Sydney Darling Harbor for a while, and they had about 1 bottle left, so I picked that up. I got the Melon Tea, which I've been looking for. I love my sample of it, so I picked that up. And then Gummy Shark. I've seen this one before, but I've never had like a sample or anything, I don't think. So I picked that one up too. Was that all the inks? I actually got more inks from a friend that went to the Arkansas Pen Show. She picked up a couple of bottles for me, the morning and midnight Morpho from Stationery Universe, because they were there, and I was so excited to get those. I got both of them in shimmer because she didn't have, I don't think she had one of them in standard, but I actually filled a couple of pens, just didn't pull any shimmer in them, and the colors are gorgeous. Let's see, so I picked this up, and I got this off of the table from, what is his name? I don't know if I got his card, but he makes the really big, they're really cool pens. But he was selling them for somebody else, so I'm not actually sure. Yeah, I don't have, I'm not sure if it's that. The Inky brand, I think, is who did this, but yeah, he was selling them for her, and it's really cute. So it looks like a little cannoli, and then when you open it up, it's just little pieces of suede to wipe your nibs on, and I think there's like 3 pieces in here, and I just thought it was so cute, just something fun. Very innovative little design and cute to carry around. It's pretty small, but I thought it was so cute, so I picked this up. I will see if I can find these. I'm not sure if they sell them on the website or where, but I will try to find either the contact information for the person who actually makes these, and I'll link it down below. So I received a Habino in the mail. I just got the blank Day Free Habino. I wanted to try their paper out. It's really nice. But I picked up this cover from Moth and Maple. My friend Diana owns the shop, and so she had this, and it's just gorgeous. It's called Electric Pink is the name of the leather. And so I just put my Habino in there, and it fits perfectly. I think this one was sized for an A6 5-year, but I love that my Habino fits in here, and this leather is just gorgeous. So I picked that up. She hand cuts and stitches everything. There's no machinery involved. All the stitching and everything is done by hand. So yeah, it's beautiful. I love this cover. So I picked that up from Moth and Maple. Is that all of the... So I have nibs, pen cases, or a pen case, and then pens or writing utensils that I'll have a lot of stuff to go through. So I guess I'll start with my first purchase at the pen show, which was from Heinz Pens. This is my first Heinz pen, and it is gorgeous. It has a fuchsia nib, just fine nib. I did not have any work done to it. He did tune it while I was standing there and let me try it before I purchased the pen. So, but the resin on that is beautiful. And I'm not sure that he told me what resin this was, so I need to find out. It has this beautiful glitter cap and then their finial. But it's a really good size. I love the way that it feels in the hand. It's really comfortable. The grip section is nice. There's not too much of a step down on the threads here. So it's very comfortable in the hand. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it's such a pretty pen. I was so glad that he had it. And he would have put whatever nib color I wanted in it, but I thought it matched really well. He had some blue ones and purple ones, but I really like the fuchsia. So that was my first purchase, pen purchase at the show. I did purchase a shirt prior to that says, what does it say? 99 problems and none of them are a Bic. I thought that was funny. So I picked that up, and then this was my second purchase, but it was the first pen purchase of the day. So I got that from Heinz Pen. I think my next purchase was from Bart over at Zodiac Pen Co. Bart is the sweetest. If you've never had the pleasure of talking to him, he is so funny and so sweet. I had several really good conversations with him, but I purchased a pen and the Pisces pen case because I'm a Pisces, and he was quite funny when I purchased the pen. So I bought the pen first, and then I went back and got this. But it holds 6, so there's 3 slots here, 3 slots here, and then just a little opening for a notebook or a notepad or something like that. But it's beautiful. I love that. Made by Rickshaw. And then when I bought this pen, I asked if I could have the Pisces pen case because I didn't think about buying the bigger pen case first. I came back and did that later, but when I purchased my pen and he said it went against all of his things to put a Cancer model in a Pisces case, but he did graciously give me the one that I asked for. He does give one of these pen sleeves with each pen purchase, so but this is my pen. This is a Cancer model. It is gorgeous. This is my first Cancer model. I have the Virgo from him, and then he's making me another Cancer model in the 3 Olive Martini that I asked for while we were at the pen show. He didn't have any made, so he's gonna make one for me. But this pen is gorgeous. It is the Thunderstorm resin. Is it Thunderstorm Mermaid? But it's by Papa J, and it is stunning. That resin is just, I can't get over it. Beautiful. So I picked this pen up and adore it. It's so pretty. I found my way to Kirk's table and I picked up the show nib, which I had a grind done on that, and I'll talk about that when I show it. And then I also picked up, he had some titanium nibs. So that led to this pen purchase for reasons. I don't know if it's going to come through. I may have to try to take some pictures outside, but it is the most beautiful glittery white resin on this pen. So I purchased the nib, which is a titanium with a little kitty cat on it. And I did not realize it was a Bach nib when I purchased it. I may not have bought it if I had known, but after I talked to Kirk, he said that this was a Bach nib. So I had to go buy a Bach pen because I don't own any pens that take Bach nibs. So I think maybe Asvine might, but we actually had dinner with, so this pen actually comes from Divine Pens Plus, and Braxton that owns this company, we had dinner with him it was the cookout night. So it was like, was it Thursday night, Friday night? Might have been Friday night. I don't remember. But he sat with us it was Friday night. He sat with us at the dinner and we talked, and he is so nice. Just makes some beautiful pens. So I told him I was going to have to come and check out his table, and he had so many pretty pens that it was really hard to decide. But for one, I love the roll stop. It's so cute. I don't think that glitter is coming through. Maybe like right there, but it's like rainbow glitter in this resin. So this is one of his in-house resins, and I just love it. The nib writes so good. There's a gnat flying around, and I am so sorry if you see it. It's really bugging me. It keeps landing on my pens. But yeah, I think this is the perfect pen for this beautiful nib. So it's a titanium nib made by Kirk with a kitty. I love it. This is one of my, I don't really know how to decide on which pen purchase was my favorite because I really love them all for different reasons. So yes, I purchased this one specifically for that nib, so they will be permanently paired, and I love it. So that is Divine Pens, Braxton. He is super nice. I saw Bernardo at the Yovo. He sells Mondu pens and then also sells Yovo nibs. So I bought a gold, 18 karat gold Yovo nib because that was mainly what I was going for, was new experiences. So a lot of the work that I had done were, buying nibs, yes, I did buy a pen for a nib, but I wanted some different experiences. So I did purchase different models, different pens from different makers, and then I had a lot of nibs kind of worked on. So this one is the 18 karat gold in just a Yovo housing, so I can put this in any of my Yovo pens, and I'm super excited. Right now it's being housed in my newest bone crusher that I picked up. I ordered from their website. Well, I ordered it straight from April, I don't know, a few months ago, but it is gorgeous. And so I've been using that in there, and I actually think I have it inked with Midnight Morpho, but it writes so good. It's beautiful. So that was one of my nib purchases. I had 2 nibs worked on by Kirk. Well, 3 technically, because I actually bought this pen from his website. It's got a scythe grind on it, and it was a little scratchy, so I took it in and he worked on it for me and fixed that one up. So I was thankful for that. But I also took him my 2 newest Sailor purchases. So I bought the Wicked Witch of the West on Pen Chalet a few months ago, and I don't know if it's the black coating on these nibs, but I don't care for the feedback on the black nibs. I like it on my regular nibs, but for some reason I'm not a fan of it. So I had him just tune and smooth this nib, and now it writes like a dream. There is a very slight amount of feedback left on it, and it just writes so good. And I ordered, this is the Gold Spot exclusive Cthulhu, and I ordered this with a broad nib because I wanted to try it, and I just didn't like the broad nib. So I had Kirk go ahead and just do a reduction on this one. And so now it's about a regular sailor medium, and I had him tune and smooth this one. And now this one, I don't think there's any feedback left on it. It's super smooth, and I really love it. It's a gorgeous writer. It wasn't bad before. I just didn't really like the broad nib, and I wanted a little bit tuned and smooth. So now it is perfect. I love both of those pens so much. Kirk was great. We talked after, like, I think it was at the pen show after dark. I talked to him for a little while. He has some really cool things he's been carrying and adding to his website. So he has these flashlights, and my husband and I actually own a few. One of them is this, but they're from, I think it's Olight. I think is the, yeah, Olight is the name of the company. But these are just, you just like push them and they come on. These are just like little bitty space lights where you can put them up anywhere and just tap them and they'll come on. And so we have a couple of these. My husband has a really big flashlight from them, but Kirk had this lantern. So it sat on a tripod and it shone the light down. You could turn it on and make it like a regular torch flashlight, but it had so many different settings. I definitely want to pick one of those up when he gets them on his website. But he has a lot of new things he's been adding. So definitely check out Kirk Spear. If you don't know who he is, you should. He's a nibmeister and sells a lot of used pens and other items now. So definitely go check him out. I think those were the only things that I had done from him. So then I had an appointment with JJ Lax. Now this is the first time I've ever met JJ. He is from New York, and I had a class with him and had two nibs ground. So these interactions were amazing. He was actually letting a young lady sit with him while he was grinding, and I guess she had some background in grinding nibs, but she was in school. And so he was training her while he was doing a lot of the nib work. And it was so awesome to just sit there and watch him talk about and explain in great detail how he grinds these nibs. So it was just a really amazing experience just for the nib grinding alone. But then the class, I'll go over that in a minute because I have a couple of nibs a couple of pens from the class that I'll talk about. But the first one I had ground on, this was I think this is just an old nib that I had, that I threw in my desk and had him grind this. And we were sitting there talking, and I told him that I really liked the BBG, which is Big Bottom Girl, and his extra fine architect nib. And he said, well, I've never done it before, but how about I put the BBG on the bottom and the extra fine architect on the reverse side? And I was like, can you do that? And he said, I don't know, I never have, but let's do it. So I have a 1-of-1 nib that he created that has a BBG on the regular side, and then when you reverse it, it has an extra fine architect nib, which both are amazing. I spent a lot of time just writing with both of these nibs, or both of the sides of this nib, and they are phenomenal. And he was just so kind to sit there and talk to me like through the grinding and, ask questions about, how I felt about it, to write with it. He was like, make sure it feels right because of my angle, because I told him that I was like, I normally write really high up, but I'm training myself to try to write more normal. And so he made it to where, I mean, I can write with both nibs at really either angle and they're not scratchy. I don't really know how he did it, because most architect nibs are dependent on that lower angle to get that wide side stroke. But this one, actually, the lower you go, the wider it gets. So it's really, so I guess it's technically 3 grinds in one nib. But yeah, I felt very privileged to have the only, he called it the BBG Plus. So that is just awesome. Like this experience was so much fun. I can't, like, I'm still just like living off the high, because I had so many meaningful conversations. You think about, you know, meeting these people and spending time with them, and just the getting to see their personality, because I've bought pens from several of the makers before that I've bought pens from. I know Braxton and Heinz, those were both new to me, but Bart and then Jonathan at Carolina Pen Co. I had purchased from before, so it was fun to see them again and talk to them. But JJ, if you ever are blessed to be in the same room or the same town while he's grinding, I definitely recommend getting a grind from him. All the Nibmeisters are different in some form or fashion, and from my experience, they're all amazing. I have nibs from Matthew Chin, from Kirk, from Mark Bacchus, and they're all really nice and really, you know, fun to work with. But JJ was just, he was a little different with how he really talked through the process. And maybe that was because he was training somebody while I was there, but it was really fun and a great learning experience. So during the class that I had with him on Sunday morning, he gave us 2 pens and messed up one of them, or messed up both of them, and had us work on them. There were 20 of us in this class, and he was very attentive to each person and every question. He answered them all with kindness and grace. He did not, you know, talk down to us or make us feel like, you know, we weren't doing what we were supposed to be doing. He would look at the nibs and he would coach how to, you may need to take more off this side, or, smooth it a little more on this side. He was very kind to go through the process, multiple times, because there were so many of us there. And so I received both of these pens. They're both Jen Howes from the package. He also gave us some other tools, a loop and brass shims, some files and things like that to work on the nibs. But the experience just going in there and, listen to him explain his love for grinding nibs, it was so fun. And I would definitely recommend his class to anybody. And if he comes back to Atlanta, or if I go to a show where he's at and he's offering another class, I will 100% take it, even if it's the same class, because it was so much fun just to go in there and be able to play around with nibs. And this is something that I do. And I learned some techniques that I shouldn't be doing, and I learned new techniques of how to do them correctly, or how he recommends, not necessarily that they were incorrect, but just how he recommends that you do them so that you get a better result from the nib. And both my nibs write pretty well now. I think I did a pretty good job. I don't know that I'd ever want to go as far as doing the one that we did on this one again. He had filed like a super flat side, and we had to completely work the tipping to make it fully round. And then you had to add in the writing plain. It was just very interesting to learn the class. So yeah, I had a blast doing that, and I am like really excited to maybe put some of those new knowledges to the test. Okay, so I have 3 more things to show. One of them was a huge blunder on my part, but this pen I saw laying on the table, and it was from a very lovely lady that was selling just pens that she had come across. I'm not sure what the name of the company was, or if it was a company or if it was just her. She did say that she got these from a jeweler who had, I guess when they did the Accutron, I think they sold some of these to jewelers. So I purchased this without looking at it, really. So this is the Esterbrook SD Accutron, and I think it's like, I know what the name of the resin is. I just can't remember. She didn't have, was it in the box? Oh yeah, no, I do have the box for it. But I don't know that it said anything on it. So this is the box that it came in. And no, I don't think it does say anything about the actual pen, but I know what the resin is. I just can't remember it right off the top of my head. But they only made like 100 of these. And unfortunately, it's a ballpoint. So I did not know that because I didn't open it. And it was a really good deal. And I thought, oh my goodness, these are like $300 pens. You can't find them anywhere. There was a reason why it was only 150 because it was a ballpoint. I should have known. You know, it happens. We get excited, we see things, and we don't pay attention. Always open the cap before you buy a pen, just to make sure. But, so I did some messing around. So I did some research, and I looked up to see if you could convert this. And it said no, that you can't make this into a fountain pen. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? I just have a really beautiful rollerball, ballpoint, whatever it is, that I can use at work. That's fine. I'm okay with it. You know, I made my peace with it. So I was sitting in the room later that night, and I just popped in. I have an Esterbrook, or had an Esterbrook with me. I think I've already cleaned it. Yeah, my bestie. Anyway, so I took it apart, and I took and it screws in. So I was like, okay. So if that works, then, you know, I mean, it's got a spring down in here. I'll just use one of my short converters or a cartridge. It's not going to interfere with that. So it works, right? So I was like, well, you know, I mean, that doesn't necessarily look the greatest. So what can I do? Well, I forgot that Esterbrook makes an adapter that's black that lets you put like old nibs. So the old Esterbrook nibs, vintage nibs. And I actually found one of these at the Federalist at the pen show. So I ordered the conversion, the adapter, and we'll see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not sad about it. I have a beautiful, I mean, it's gorgeous resin, and it's my favorite color. So, you know, I mean, like, I'm not going to pull the spring out or mess any of that up because I do like this, and I would use it as a rollerball, ballpoint. I don't know what they call them. But I felt really silly buying that. And, you know, it is what it is. You live and learn, right? You do things, and it is what it is. Yeah, no worries. So I'll get that piece, and when I get that piece, we'll do it all together. I'll make a video and show whether or not you can convert one of these into a fountain pen, because ultimately, you know, that's what I'd like to do. So when it comes, it's already shipped, so I have, you know, the nib. So as soon as the rest of it gets here, I will put it together and we'll see if it works. So that was my blunder purchase, but again, not sad about it. I mean, it's a beautiful pen. So the last day of the show, I was walking around Jonathan Brooks's table because he always has the most beautiful pens in a big, huge pile. If you've never had the pleasure of seeing him at a pen show, it's hilarious because there's just, I don't know, 50, 60 pens just in a pile. And he does that. He explained this to me last year. He does that because he wants people to pick up the pens and mess with them. So if they're laying in a big pile, you kind of have to move them around to sort them out. You know, in doing so, I found this lovely pen on the last day of the show. And it also is housing my other grind from JJ Lax, which is an extra, extra fine on the purchase I made from Kirk with the show nib on it. It has the Coke bottle and the 2026. So yeah, I had this ground the last day of the show, and it's a really interesting grind, but it is an extra, extra fine, and it writes like a dream. But this pen, I have another, this is from Jonathan. I ordered this sight unseen from his website, and his matte satin finish, whatever you want to call it, is probably one of my favorites. They just feel like silk in your hand. And I keep my monarch nib in this. I had quite an amusing conversation with Bart and Jonathan on the night of the After Dark. It was very funny. But yeah, I keep my monarch in this, and then this one is now going to house my extra, extra fine from JJ Lax. I'm not sure what this resin is. It's beautiful though. So pretty. I need to ask him. I need to email him and ask him. I have to email him something else. So I will ask him whenever I do that, and I will let you guys know what this resin is. But it's so pretty. And this is a really good shape. I like this pen. His, like, the step is almost non-existent with the threads. Such a good design on a pen. But so that was my last purchase at the pen show because I needed, you know, another Carolina pen. And I will have, again, all of these shops linked down below. I still have a couple more things I need to go through. I'm trying to make this quick. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that way. But this pen is gorgeous, and it writes like a dream. All right. I guess I'm probably going to get called out on this one, too. They were talking about me swapping nibs and the pens, Bart and Jonathan. It was quite funny. So, but I did purchase a couple of things from Franklin Christoph. Unfortunately, I am not a huge fan of their pens. I've just not found the right model for me yet. The O2 was not for me. I don't know. It just really didn't fit my hand well. And so until I have some time that I can spend like writing with some of their pens, I'm not going to buy another pen from them. I did pick up a Sig nib from them. So this is from Audrey. She does all of their nib work, smoothing, tuning, things like that. But this is the Sig nib, and it was ground by her. So I'll have her information linked below. And their pens are gorgeous. Like I said, I just haven't found the model yet that works for me. But I definitely recommend Audrey. She is a fantastic grinder. The Sig nib is beautiful. So I haven't figured out what I'm going to put that in yet. But I have the Sig nib. And I also, they had these mechanical pencils that were resin. Beautiful. And of course, you know, it's green. So I had to pick that up. It's a nice little mechanical pencil. I love that it's small and just kind of fits, you know, just a little bitty pencil. And I just do stuff, you know, here and there. with my pencils. I don't use them a lot, but it's nice to have a mechanical pencil, so I picked that one up. I really think that's it, but I'm not sure. I may have gotten other stuff. I feel like I have not stopped. I will hopefully just have the footage kind of here and there scattered throughout, but I will have all of the shops that I had the pleasure of purchasing from. Oh, my pens. I forgot. I went to The Right Stuff and I got these two cute little pens. So this one says Written in the Stars and Karma is a Cat. I got both of those from The Right Stuff. I will have them linked down as well. And I think that may be it. Maybe. I don't know. If I find anything else, I'll add it and cut this part out. So anyway, that was my haul from the Atlanta Pen Show. And I will have footage of the show, and yeah, maybe when I go through some of the other like breakdowns, I'm going to do some, like I want to come back on and do some writing samples of the nibs and maybe just kind of do that separate. So do like JJ's nibs and Kirk's nibs in separate videos and talk about like more in depth in the experience. But all of these people were so wonderful that I got to talk to. Mythic, Brad with Mythic Pens. I spoke with him. He is so nice. He makes some beautiful pens. So I will have him linked down below. Logan at Little Hollow Customs was there. I have two pens of his that are just gorgeous that I got. I got one last year at the Atlanta Pen Show, and this year, earlier this year, at the end of last year, I won a pen from a giveaway on his Instagram. I will have him linked down below. I'm trying to think. There were so many vendors, and you want to support them all, especially the small makers. Ryan Krusak, he makes the most gorgeous pens out of like antler. They were so cool. Yeah, so many different makers, so many different vendors. It was a lot. And I was there for 3 days, and I still bet you I did not see half of the things, because there's so much. You see a new thing every time you walk around, and I walked that floor a lot. All right, so I think that's it, at least for now. If I think of anything or come across anything that I did not mention, I will add it in at the end. But yeah, go check out all these shops. They all make some amazing things. So, all right, I think that's going to be it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Pen Day, so I'm part of you. You didn't know. This year celebrates our 15th year of Fountain Pen Day, the first Friday in November. 15 years, how it goes fast. All right, I want to welcome you all to the 29th year of the Atlanta Pen Show. 29 years, James, as we know him, Jimmy Dollop, has welcomed us and created an event where some of us, it may be our only vacation of the year, and this is where we choose to be, with friends and family, sharing faith, friendship, and a common passion. Before I go any further, I want to say one thing. To everybody that's here, the most important thing to myself, and I ask you of this because I give to the community as much as possible, find Jimmy Dollop tomorrow and just simply say thank you. If you notice, he's not here tonight. All right? Jimmy goes from 5 a.m. as long as he can. And for 29 years he's dedicated himself to giving us this place to do it. So just do me a favor. That's all I ask, is just find him and just say, hey, Jimmy, thank you. That's it. The next thing I'm going to tell you, that I tell every time I do this, tonight is your night as a community to sit and be truthful about what you bought, what you spent, how much it cost. All right? You will not be able to do that once you get home. All right? Make sure those emails for your PayPal account that no one knows about didn't accidentally go to the significant other. Okay? Unless they're supportive. If they're supportive, God bless you, and may the force be with you after this weekend. All right.
Those people should be disqualified from the drawing.
Yes, indeed. All right. All my weekend pass holders that are here, all our weekend pass holders that are here, I want you to take a notice when I ask of this. This is what the community is about. I would like all of my retailers that are here this weekend, retailers and vendors, to raise your hands. And I want all of them to look around. The reason I do this is not for you to applaud them. They're all happy that you're here. The reason I do this is so that you understand that they're part of our community. These are people that love what they do. They've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, getting ready, preparing, and doing everything. But yet, at 8:30 on a Saturday night, they are here with you, enjoying what their passion is. And they want to be with you. They want to share with you. They want to integrate with you. It's not about selling. During the day it is, because you got to pay the bills. But right now, they're one of us. We are all the same. You know what? In this time of the world, it's really important. And it's important that we share with each other, we enjoy each other, without judgment, without anything. I bought a pen and it was $1,000, and your friend across the table says, that was a great deal. You're not going to get that anywhere else. I assure you. All right? So, part of tonight, and I always say this too, is my ruse is to get all of my introverts in here feeling comfortable, because you're going to all hang out tonight and you're going to experience different pens, different papers, different inks. You're going to find out what a $2 pen does, $1,000 pen does. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that we're all writing, and we're writing history that the people outside these walls are going to read later. Because if the lights go out and the cloud goes down, what you've written is going to matter more than anything else. Okay? The other thing is we're going to do a raffle, and that's how I get you all here. All right? And they are given by our generous retailers out there, all the ones that I could get a hold of, and we're going to call out numbers. These numbers are on the back of the weekend pass holder tags. You will have a raffle ticket. Vendors are not included in this because they're the ones that are giving back to you, to say thank you, to say you're part of us. We understand. We were there. We want you to have something special to remember this day by. So, on that note, and I'm sure that not all the weekend pass holders are here, so we'll have numbers, so please be cognizant of your number when I call it out, so we can get through it.